Hey Aries, so let's talk about this week, the end of this week, next week, and some of the things I'm going to say can stretch out a little bit longer than that, but my focus is, current, all right? All right, so here we go. This is for Aries Sun, Aries Rising, and depending on the degree of your moon, it may affect some Aries moons, depending on what type of Aries moon you have. And it can fit in small scale. Everyone has Aries in their chart. So what I'm about to say for Aries Sun and Aries Rising and some Aries moons, you can apply a little bit of this to the area where Aries is in your chart. So you all have Aries, whether you have planets in it or not, it's still active. And, Aries still fits a role and plays a role in your life. So you want to look at the sign it's in, the house it's in, and you want to look at any activity that's going on in it as well. All right. Okay, so moving forward, let's get started. The first thing that I want to talk about is there's going to be a spotlight shining on an area of your life that you've been waiting for, either to have the time to address, you've been waiting for something, either it's a specific calendar date or maybe a project, or maybe you're starting something and you've been waiting anxiously for this to start, whether it's a relationship, a project, you get the deal. And this is a time where starting now, there's going to be you're going to have that moment. Okay, now I can do the thing that I've been wanting to do. So good for you in that way. Let's talk about something not so cool. There is a hidden enemy that is starting. The problem with a hidden enemy is beginning. It's in its genesis phase. And right now you may not be aware of it. All right. So this is very obscure at this time. So in the next couple of days, hence the next couple of weeks or so, you will be seeing this situation. It's not going to stretch out to a couple of weeks. Let me explain. The issue for some of you, so the term hidden enemy for some of you is going to be one thing or another. Let's talk about that first. It can be a person that is gossiper. It can be a person that's underhanded, wanting to take something from you, wanting to steal a chance for you in some way. In some way it's theft. In some way it's stealing maybe a position, maybe a promotion. Maybe it's, a chance at something. It can be a person that is trying to gain something instead of you gaining it. It can be because a reaction because of envy. Whatever that is, this is where this is about to begin, and I'm kind of letting you know early. So you want to be super hyper vigilant in anything that can be obscure in your life. So you want to think back. Did I have an issue with someone? Does that person have beef with me? Did this not go well and I just kind of threw it to, doesn't matter. Hey, Tarot. Hi, you're a Sagittarius. Okay, I'm not that at Sag yet. Okay, I'm at Aries still. All right. Anyway, so you want to be aware of that because in the next couple of days, this can pop up as a theme. All right. So be aware of it. Watch what you say, watch how you react, watch how much you trust. That's all I'm saying to you is be vigilant about it, okay? All right, let's talk about the next thing. This is a phase in your life where some things are going to be starting to be addressed and other areas where the result is not fast enough. So there's been a time in the past where you have the patience that you've gotten, you're never going to be patient, Aries, okay? But let's be honest. But you have learned to be somewhat patient. And in this particular case, Tarot, excuse me, I don't want your little tushy in front of my screen. Yell at me later. Cats, they're not rats, okay? So there's a time in your life where you want to really flourish and you're not there yet. So you need to start focusing on the areas that you are, the progress that you have made. This is a time where you are, you have slowed down. So it depends on the age of you, Aries. So yes, if you're late 20s, doesn't apply too much, but you know, anywhere from mid 30s through your 40s, maybe early 50s, up to mid 50s. So in that range of age, yes, this applies to any age, really, but mainly what I'm focusing at is there's been, you know, phases and things that you've lived through that now you're looking at it and you're like, okay, I'm not going to go through what I went through in the past. I'm different. So that's the I'm different phase. And you're looking at yourself and you're saying, okay, I am different, and the way that I'm going to carry this through, I'm not going to get burned like I did. So what I'm saying is, in my wordy way, this is a time for you to stay cautious, but not so overly cautious that you stop being you, Aries. Where's your adventure, and where's your, I'm going to do it, I don't care, I'm daring and bold, I'm going to jump into the fire. You need to not forget that part of you that you had earlier in your life, okay? You can't forget that. You're always going to be fiery, and that's what makes you you. And it's good to be cautious, and I get that, and you do have to change and get wiser, okay? Adjust yourself and evolve, but you can't stop being you. And this is a time where you have to kind of balance that. And it's hard, very, very hard. This is also a time where you're going to be at this stress point between your wishes and desires and what realistically you feel that you can do. And you can second guess yourself, and you can amplify your fears, and you can't do that. You cannot do that. This is a time where you have to be brave and be more like your kid-like self. Oh, I'm going to do it because it's fun, or I'm going to do it because I'm adventurous. I'm not going to analyze it. I'm not going to be doing the adulting thing right now. I need to be more childlike, and this is going to lead me to my success. And in a way, you have to do that. You know, Aries is the child, so you kind of have to, there's a reason why. So it's going to be hard because you want to be all wise and cautious, and you know, you should kind of do the opposite in this particular case when it comes to what you really want. So it just means be daring, go for it, you know, throw caution to the wind kind of thing. Now, of course, that's always, you know, everything in context. The next thing that I want to point your attention to is there's this thing that's going on in your life right now, which is not going to stop for the next couple of years, but it starts now that you have to start focusing on this, is the work-life balance. There's an area in your life where you've been struggling because you want to balance the personal life and the work life and have them both function well, and you haven't. Well, you're going to have an opportunity to start, you know, flourishing in that area. You're not going to get everything solved overnight, which is, you know, what Aries wants to do. They want it right now, instant gratification. But you have to start focusing on little bits of progress, little bits, and say to yourself, you know what? I don't have that overnight result right now. I will get there, but I'm happy with what I've accomplished. I made some notes so I don't forget anything extra. So one other thing that I do want to address is, okay, there's two more points. One is there's going to be something from the past couple of years, what your domestic home life has been, where you're going to draw from that experience, knowledge, and wisdom, and it's going to help you in the very near future. You're going to be like, I'm so glad I learned that, you know. The next point, which is the last point that I want to make, is this is a time, Aries, the big takeaway from the entire horoscope for now is that this is a time for you to kind of get a little uncomfortable with things. Where you think you should be and where you think your focus is, kind of reevaluate it. Understand that in areas where you're patient and you're not, and you're kind of asleep in those areas, this is time to wake that up. And in areas where you are very woken up in those areas, it's time to quiet those down. So this kind of very strange, you know, swapping, right? Night to day, day to night kind of thing. Why? Because you're going to realize a lot of things. This is transitional right now for you, and you're about to start making progress in one or two areas of your life very soon. And it's not always going to be this weird transit stagnation kind of thing. So be patient, but also learn to start exploring more. Draw from the past, but take it to a good place. Be positive. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.